Hey you guys, it's Britt. Today we are here with a glorious update on our favorite little scammer, Brittany Dawn. And I figured I would bring this to you guys. This is, I think, the best outcome that we could have asked for. But as soon as the news broke, I received so many messages over on Instagram. I've been kind of playing catch up with some of the stuff that I want to cover because this whole Colleen Ballinger situation kind of popped off, and that's been taking up a lot of my time. And as most of y'all know, I do work full time and I have a life to manage outside of YouTube. So as always, I appreciate your patience. But alas, here we are with a great update about Brittany Dawn. So if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so if you're clicking on this video, chances are you know all about Brittany Dawn. I've covered her at length on my channel. I've covered everything from this situation that we're going to talk about right now to her using her Christianity as a way to grift and get more people out of money, even though she is not a preacher, she's not a pastor, she is just a influencer who has reinvented herself by using Christianity and throwing around the word Jesus 500,000 times on social media. And she charges people to come and be baptized by either her or her husband, Jordan, who has his own colorful history. You know, be baptized, pay a couple $100 and you can be baptized by her racist husband in a hotel bathroom. We have seen that. And she's rather proud of her ventures as a Christian influencer. But most importantly, she really came onto my radar because of her allowing her husband to shoot and kill her dog instead of getting him proper veterinary care or end of life care. And that pissed me right off, as a lot of y'all can imagine. And some of y'all probably remember seeing those videos way back when it happened. But nevertheless, we are here today with an update regarding her scamming and cheating ways. Now, this article starts out, and I will link it down below in case you guys want to read it as always. It says, an agreed final judgment shows that after settling with the state, North Texas influencer Brittany Dawn Davis has to pay $400,000 in penalties and restitution. Davis had settled in May after the state accused her of scamming thousands of customers by not delivering fitness and nutrition plans. And I've talked all about kind of what her fitness plans looked like, what she didn't cover, why she even ended up in this situation in the first place. So you can see those on my channel previously. The total payment is broken down into $300,000 in civil penalties and $100,000 in restitution. The judgment states that she has to pay the civil penalties and restitution within the next 3 years. The $131,320 in attorney's fees levied against her will not become due and payable unless Davis fails to comply with the permanent injunctions levied against her. So that's basically, you know, she's in a position, maybe she'll have to try to qualify for a loan. I don't know what that's going to look like for her. Maybe her parents will be able to help her. She's definitely not making money on social media like she used to. So I don't see how she's going to be able to pay approximately $100,000 per year in order to get this paid off in the 3-year cutoff. But time will tell. It continues by saying, through a permanent injunction, the judgment states Davis may not offer or sell any nutrition or fitness plans with personalized nutrition assessments, reassessments, one-on-one coaching, or workout routines unless she will actually be providing them. I don't think she should be allowed to sell them, period. Point blank, period. Get her out of that industry because she has shown people who she is. Davis had sold plans ranging from $92 to $300, but the lawsuit alleged she didn't provide the personalized coaching and guidance that had been promised. She was essentially sending out cookie cutter responses, if she was responding at all to these paying customers. That's where the issue started. She also charged a shipping fee even though the plans were emailed. Another permanent injunction states Davis may not represent herself as having any special knowledge or training to address eating disorders when she does not. Davis is also forbidden from charging a shipping fee for goods or services delivered exclusively by email, the judgment adds. Davis also has to admit wrongdoing, though the settlement says that she was overwhelmed and didn't have malicious intent. I beg to differ, because I think that if you're willing to scam people out of money, there is some malicious intent there. But hey, I'm not an attorney. They also interviewed one of her previous customers, Corey, and Corey said, I started to feel those red flags pop up, and I had to literally make the decision, like, I'm done. This isn't working for me. I gained like 8 to 9 pounds in that first week, which is detrimental to someone who has battled EDs. She worked with the Attorney General's office during the lead up to the trial and says accountability means far more to her than whatever financial compensation she'll end up receiving. I'm not trying to get my $90 back. It was never about the money for me. It's not just one, it's not just two, it's thousands and thousands of us that have been impacted. Should Davis fail to comply with these injunctions, the judgment states the full unpaid balance of civil penalties, restitution, and attorney's fees will immediately become due to the state. So luckily, they're pretty much giving her no way out of this. It continues by saying, in the stipulations of the judgment, it states that Davis admits wrongdoing, but was overwhelmed by the unexpected number of customers who purchased programs from her website. The defendants claim that their failure to provide all services that were ordered was due to the volume of customers. While defendants admit wrongdoing, they maintain that at no time did defendants fail to provide purchased services due to any malicious intent. Davis has now pivoted her business to spirituality, selling tickets to Christian retreats for up to $300 a ticket. Davis and her attorney declined to comment on the settlement. And it just closes out with a quote from her previous customer that said, be cautious, honestly, because a scammer is a scammer is a scammer. So I think that this is the best outcome that we could have asked for. Now, as far as all of the other shady stuff that she's done in between, the thing with her dog, the thing with her other animals, having a bunch of questions surrounding them and their care, her stealing content from other creators, that was another thing I didn't do a dedicated video on. But she had used another TikToker's sound regarding miscarriage, and she used it for herself, and she didn't give proper credit. So when people were using that sound, they thought that Brittany Dawn created that sound, and it was a completely different creator who shares her journey of infertility. That is so disgusting. And Brittany Dawn just took the sound as her own. Now, I do understand that there has been an apology issued from Brittany to this creator, which is also why I didn't make a dedicated video on it.
Super quick recap. I was tagged a few days ago in the comment section by a few of you of this content creator that I hadn't been previously familiar with. And I was like, why am I being tagged in this? And then I hit play, and all of a sudden it was my own audio, my own words that I was hearing. And I went based on the comments and clicked the little sound circle at the bottom and saw that the sound was being credited as the creator's original content. And it very much is my own sound, my own words, my own story that I had shared about things that I had heard throughout my infertility journey and things that I had heard specifically during my pregnancy loss. A couple important things to note here. So I had created this audio back in January, and it's been pinned to the top of my page ever since. And this creator has well over 1 million followers. They have a talent agency in their bio. Like, they could very well create their own content, and they should, but instead they took my words, my story, my audio that I had, my script that I'd worked hard to create, and have now turned it into their own original audio, crediting it as their own. And I don't fuck with that, especially when I'm talking about my miscarriage and 4 years of struggling to conceive. And their video that they're using my audio and calling it their own, when I was tagged in it, was approaching 5 million views. And they have a bunch of comments being like, oh my God, your words are speaking to me. They're so impactful. I'm hearing what you're saying. And like, that is stolen content. Those are my words. That's my journey that I was sharing. That is now, if you look at the audio, it is being credited as original content verbatim by that creator. And I think that's shitty. I think it's shitty when, whether it's content creators on TikTok or other entities, take the work of the little guy and brand it as their own without consent, without knowledge, without permission. Not cool. So like an adult, I try to resolve this interpersonally. And I send what I think is a pretty reasonable message, being like, hey, you might not be aware, giving the benefit of the doubt. This is my sound, essentially. It should be credited. Rooting for you. No response. So I comment on the video being like, this is my content. No response. I made a video yesterday alluding to the situation. And I learned that people had had a similar experience, that they'd heard of similar experiences, that this isn't like an isolated incident. And that frustrated me. So I emailed the talent company in their bio, and you might be like, this girl has way too much time on her hands. What is wrong with her? And maybe I do, but I'm in between fertility treatment cycles, and I don't appreciate people using my loss and my infertility journey and calling it their own. You'll have to pause to read these. So it's Sunday night, we're hanging out, and for the sake of full transparency, I received a DM response and a comment on their video from Brittany. I do think it's very relevant and still worth noting that this DM came 3 days after my original DM, and after I made 3 videos about how my content was taken, sent 2 emails to her PR agency, this one most recently. Pause to read, but this is after I sent a really long and detailed email that no one felt the need to respond to. This is also after, and this is why I love this community so much, and everyone's so sweet and supportive. Multiple people made videos on their own accounts calling this behavior out, saying it is my content that was taken. And this is also after multiple people messaged me to say they too had sent emails to her marketing talent agency to tell them that the content was originally mine. So anyway, this is the DM that I got not long ago in response to my original message that had been remained unanswered for 3 days. And I was really trying to give the benefit of the doubt in it with my original message. So she responds a few minutes ago, hey girl, just saw this. I'm happy to take you in the comments to give you credit. I will do that right now. My thoughts are that at no point in that message did it acknowledge that the content had been taken. There was no apology. There was nothing. She was happy to credit me for the work that I had done, which like goes without saying. It should have been done in the first place. And I don't want to be one of those people that's like unhappy no matter what. Like, okay, I got a DM. Great. She proceeded to comment on the video that it was my audio. But that's after 5.5 million people on TikTok, way more than that on other social media platforms, have already seen that content and believed it to be her own. And that's also after, at least on TikTok, like over 30 creators have reused that sound, and it's continuing to be credited back to her. And that's after I had to put in a shit ton of work and effort and emails to get pushed to be recognized for the work that had been taken from me. So anyways, great that there's a comment there now being like, oh, this is my audio, after the video views started to decrease and engagement started to decrease and no one will ever see it. So yeah, that's where things are at. And I'm still gonna await a response from her agency because I deserve a response from them as well to all my emails.
But she's just a tasteless individual. She is tasteless, she is greedy, she is money hungry, and I don't think that she'll do something again like this that is so out in the open. But like this prior customer said, scammer is a scammer is a scammer. So will she change her ways, or will she just try to be a little more low-key about it next time? That's the question. So she's gonna have to somehow figure out how to come up with this money. And she is over on TikTok just making, you know, the content that she usually makes, and anyone who criticizes her is the devil. That's just what she runs around and says, and some of these people eat it up. A lot of them don't, but if you don't and you leave a comment, you will definitely be deleted. So that's why her subreddit is so large. They're constantly covering her shenanigans over on her subreddit. And you know, I think that this goes kind of beyond karma, because karma sometimes is a little bit karma's a little different. You don't always know when karma happens. But with this, I think that it is the fairest outcome that we could have asked for, considering the amount of damage that she has done. And, you know, she has exploited foster care. She has used infertility as a way to get sympathy and followers. And she grifts and she uses her religion as a shield. And I just don't think that she is somebody who has a very good moral compass, and that is my opinion based on everything that I've seen from her. I've, you know, covered her for quite a while now, and I haven't seen a changed person. I see somebody who tries to discount what people are saying and call it devil and bad, you know, sinners and whatever else kind of nonsense she puts on it. But because a lot of y'all asked, I figured I would get this video done today, and hopefully it will be posted very soon. But like I said, I really appreciate your all's patience and understanding as I am trying to do it all. But I really enjoy my channel. I enjoy growing my channel. I appreciate the new subscribers that I have. Thank you guys for taking a chance on my content and seeing if it is for you, or, you know, maybe it is, maybe it's not. Either way, but I have seen that growth and I feel the support and I appreciate it. So either way, that's what's going on with Brittany Dawn, and I'm going to move on to maybe film more video and then move on with my day. So for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.